everybody, and welcome back to the Hilltop Pillbox here in Abbotsford, British Columbia, Canada. And our current game of BBR 3 called Operation Market Garden. And fortunately for the Allies, it went better than the real Market Garden did. We've decided to call the game after some great discussion between the two sides. It looks as though the Axis can only get a maximum of 11 points, and so we've decided to save everybody's time and trouble, and we're just going to move on. I'm going to give you a brief overview of what happened here, and then I have a bit of an announcement to make. But here we have Germany's situation, and they have about 55, 60 units in Germany proper right now. And they likely will not lose Berlin because of that. Now, our goal as the Allies, though, would be to take and hold Warsaw, being a victory point. The way that we would try to do this is on this turn with the Americans is I would attack and hope to take Western Germany. There's reason for that. So we would have these 3 units in France. We'd have these 6 units being brought up by all these transports here, and we'd even end up having a strategic bomber bringing over 2 guys and landing in England for a follow-up attack the next turn if necessary. But we also have our 3 fighters here, so we'd be attacking with 12 units versus his 7, one of whom is a bomber, and he's got 4 men. So numbers and power definitely on our side. So we would do that. Then we would move in as much British stuff as we could, which would be 12 units from the island, as well as some fighters from Norway, and the air units here, of course. And then Italy would move in quite a number of units, about 20 units total. And then the French would move in there and build some fast units for next round, because we have $16, which we would spend, or 17, pardon me. So 2 tanks and a mech, and that would give us 3 more units to possibly assail Berlin with the following turn. And of course, the Canadians would move some stuff in there. And there you go. On this next turn, it would really depend on what Germany would do. Would Germany divide her forces, or just say we're definitely going to hold on to Berlin? And it's an important question, because we would have about 40 to 50 units in Western Germany of all different types. About 40, I guess, units. He's got 55, 60 in Germany. And then we've got another 30-odd units over here. So it's obvious that Berlin can hold if he wants Berlin to hold. But if he tries to hold both Warsaw and Berlin, I think he would lose one, possibly put Berlin in danger of being taken. So that is where Germany sits. The Japanese is not such an easy thing to break down. It's kind of like someone said about hitting a Phil Necro knuckleball is like hitting Jello with chopsticks. That's kind of how it feels when you play against Japan, because of course they've got their Air Force, which can strike out at any time. They have, under the blanket of that protection, they can then build a massive navy, which Chaplin did this game. And then the expansion on the ground is very difficult to oppose, as the Allies only have one place to build stuff, which will fall every game if Japan wants it to fall. If Japan wants this, there's nothing that the Allies can do to hang on to it at all. Like, you just can't. You just can't. Which, hey, that's then, though, it forces Japan to focus here, and then sometimes stuff like this can happen where China's healthy. But we'll look right now. Just so you know, they have 9 points at this moment in time. They have 9 points. And what they were hoping to do is come up into the Caucasus next turn. They have 4 units that can make it. I'm not sure if the artillery can make it. I haven't checked the BBR 3 rules in a while, but even if he could, that's 4 he can hit with. we're obviously going to be planting 3 units here, pull 3 units down from Moscow, and we can even fly in a plane or two just to bulk that up. So I think the Caucasus is pretty safe. And even if he does take it, our build here can retake it the next turn. So he'd probably, if he did take it, he'd have 1 unit left and we would be able to respond. But being an 8-round game, there is no next turn, right? So he'd have to take it on after the Soviet turn. Just don't think he'd be able to. So the 8 or the 9 points they have, they need to get 3 more. So we'll take a look at the China point. Is it possible? It is not possible. There is literally no way. He lost an air transport this last round down here. If he hadn't lost that, it would have been possible. Still unlikely, though. There's just too much stuff here, right? We own Shanghai right now. On my Chinese turn, I'd be moving in a ton of guys here into Shanghai. That's just what I would do. And I would likely use my horsey horses, to kill this guy along with a plane. And I might even come up here and take a poke with my horses here, because they only defended a 1, right? So I'd probably attack a couple up here, 1 here, bring the fighter, and try to kill this guy and take this territory. And then I would move everything into here. And I can build in here. So I can build my 4 units as well in Shanghai. So it's unlikely they'd be able to, that Japan would be able to take everything. This is their, these 2 spots are their Achilles heel, because this guy can only take 1. So he takes that one. He could do this, right? Bring the artillery over, but then he's only got 2 men attacking here, and I would plant a couple more guys up here. So it'd be like 2 1s versus 5 2s, and it's just not going to happen. And then he just can't take over the rest. So I would move in here on this turn. The Soviets go next. They would join me. I believe it's just too much for the Japanese to marshal to bring in. It would be a fun battle. I think it would be a fun battle to see. But even if they took Shanghai, that would push them to 10 points, and they still need a couple more. Now the Japanese, the island point where they get 4 American or British islands. So they've got 1, 2, 3, but there's nothing else they can reach. All their transports on the board are right here, and within 3 spaces are no American places to take. So that is that's where that is at. The Japanese do have the that took another resource up there, so they have 2 of the 3 resources they need, but as we mentioned before, Caucasus is the other one. Chaplin made a funny comment on his last Japanese video, his final Japanese video, which was, if I took Japan, he would flip his table. And so, I would love to do that, but I think that's just a waste of time, money, and energy. I can hit it with 9 subs, 2 destroyers, 2 cruisers, and a battleship, a carrier, and a couple of planes. Well, he's got 3 double-hit carriers, he's got 3 double-hit battleships, he's got 6 destroyers, 2 cruisers, and a sub, and then he's got 3 planes and a tactical. So, yes, mathematically, doesn't look good. Yes, the luck of the dice, maybe I get lucky, because I definitely can take Japan here, right? I've got 10 units here that I can land versus his 3. So, it would be fun. If I could hit it with these aircraft and my Strat bombers, which were being used to kind of shore up against a possible island incursion to get his island point, if I could hit them with all my aircraft, yeah, I definitely would. I'd give it a whirl, but this just isn't enough. He outclasses me in pretty much everything here. So we're not even going to bother with that. If you would like to try it on your own, feel free, but I won't bore you with that butchery. which definitely would be the result of any assault. That is pretty much it, though. There's really nothing else the Japanese can do. We'll take a look at the chart here, the economic chart. And as you can see, with only 2 Axis powers left, they have $96 total. That will be dropping for them. Theirs might stay the same, might go up a couple bucks next round. Of course, that's meaningless. So this is, all of these here are what they're fighting against, right? And when the Soviet Union is this healthy, it usually means that they've held on to most of their territory and have started to take other territory. So taking Finland and Norway, that extra $5, more than makes up for the $2 the Japanese have scooped over here on the eastern side of the Soviet Union. So that's where we're at. Just doesn't look like they can get 3 more points at all, so we're going to call it. Again, wasn't an easy decision. We like to play things to the end, but if there's no drama involved, there's no point. So I do film and TV acting as often as I can, and then I also coach some students about it. I do a class where I coach them, and I always say every scene has to have meaning. Every scene has to have a conflict. Every scene has to have a chance to go one way or the other, or else why is it in there? It's not interesting otherwise. So that we can apply that truth to what's happening here. Now, I'm going to make a bit of an announcement here. Well, 2 actually. So the first one, I'll be doing an unboxing video and an informative video sometime in the next couple of days on the brand new historical board gaming offering, Global... Wrong! Pardon me. Meltdown 2025. They have global in most of their other games, so Meltdown 2025. And I should know the name because I helped to design it. And so I will be receiving that. Doug is sending me a copy with all the bells and whistles, and I'm going to be putting that video up hopefully in the next couple of days. I haven't received the game yet. For some reason, FedEx is holding it in town. They didn't deliver it yesterday, so...
They're a bunch of jerks as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, who knows? So when I get that, you'll see that. The other thing is that in 2023, this is tentative right now, but in 2023, I will be holding a Hilltop Pillbox tournament. And the tournament will be a very interesting style of tournament, and I will have to get some work done on the logistics of it. The great thing about Abbotsford, folks, is we have an international airport, so you can typically buy a ticket to here. You can also fly to Bellingham. We're only about a 45 minute drive up from Bellingham, Washington, right? So that's pretty simple. You can fly to Bellingham, cheap ticket. We're about 2.5 hours, 2.25 hours from the Seattle airport to Abbotsford, so that's not too bad either. Or we're about an hour outside, I'll be honest, an hour and a half outside of the Vancouver airport here to Abbotsford. So lots of options there, easy to travel here. And remember, when you book a hotel, it's Canadian money. So, I mean, hey, it's pretty much free, right?
You are technically correct.
So, to my American friends anyway, the Canadians are going, yeah, we're paid in Canadian money. So, there'll be more coming on that. And this will not be in conflict with any of the other tournaments that are going to be going on. I will find a gap where no one else is doing any sort of offering on that. Again, a lot of logistics to work out. I have to see if there's interest. I have to see if that's something that people would travel to the Wet Coast for. And if they would, we'll move forward on this. If the response is lukewarm or, hey, I'd love to come, I can't, because I'm already going to this, that, or the other thing, or I just can't make it, then we might shelve it for a year. I'm definitely not one to force the issue. And for all my friends and these guys that I play with, who are also friends, they know I don't like to do anything half-baked. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right, and you will have a grand time. We will likely play in a local establishment where we have the whole room, and we can set up a number of tables and have catered food and do all that. So that's probably what we would do, and just have a great time. So I'm really looking forward to working on getting that together. And I believe the focus of it will likely be historical board gaming offerings. So Meltdown 2025, they have a World War I game coming out, 85. Lots of fun things coming out with their Cold War offerings. Of course, Global War 36, their magnum opus, will be featured, and it'll likely center around historical board gaming games. So if you think you're interested in that, please leave just a comment below. Let me know that you are interested, and we will, based on that, we'll move forward with some real purpose. And tell your friends, and if they didn't watch this video or what have you, tell them to just, you don't have to watch the video, but they can come online and leave their 2 cents in the comments below. And we will take that as a sign that there's enough interest to move forward. Again, 2023, so we're looking at about a year and a half away. But it'll be done upright. Guarantee it, or your money back.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
No, don't say that. All right. Well, as always, folks, a big thank you to Corporal Clegg and Detroit for being some great partners, and also to our opponents, Hell on Wheels and the Chaplain, for being great opponents for us, showing us some things we did not expect, and giving us grief here, I tell you. And we will possibly be doing another game here shortly. Still has some things to work out to make sure that's going to happen. But as we always say, hug your loved ones, especially in today's day and age. Just go give them a hug right now. Go do it, and tell your friends that you're glad that they play these fun games. And remember, folks, it's not the game, it's the people playing with you, right? People ask me all the time, what's your favorite game? I said, no, it's, I like this, that. It really depends on who I'm playing with. And, thank your friends. Thank your friends. And for those of you who have to convince your spouse to give you time to do these things, and your spouse relents lovingly, do something nice. Do something nice for your spouse. This weekend, or whenever you're watching this thing, to thank. Let's just spread some love. Let's have an attitude of gratitude, and just continue to build this amazing community, which I am so privileged to be a part of. And I appreciate your support in helping me build the channel, and we will have some new content coming out right away here. But until then, as we always say, hug your loved ones, tell your friends thanks, and may those dice be ever with you.